Yo, what's up, everybody, man? We live. I'm here with my boy, Big Hawk Yonkers native. Big Hawk Yonkers native. We here live and direct. Anything you want to say, Big Hawk? Let them know.
Um, Thanks for whoever was watching me earlier. In the force because they got their hands tied, man. They got their hands tied, and I guess they had enough of it. They had enough of it, and they can't make no arrests if they, it's not looking good for the city of New York. It's not looking good at all. It really isn't. No.
Yeah, the struggle is real, man. The struggle is real with New York City right now. The struggle is real. Yeah, it's the struggle is real, man. Hold on. The struggle is real right now, man. With New York City, the struggle is real. Um, they got the cuts now. They cut in every department, every city department. They even going to cut the libraries on Sunday. I guess they have kids go to the library or adults, whoever. They're gonna cut most of the libraries on Sundays. It's a 5% cut across the board, and I heard they're about to do two more 5% cuts come next year, early next year, and it's a sad situation. They have the police department, the NYPD police department is gonna do a whole bunch of cuts. I mean, they already did cuts, but I'm talking about far as man, they supposed to have some academies that's opening up pretty soon, and they don't have the academies. They're not going to have the academies right now. They're going to hold off on that. New York police force usually is over 30,000 strong. Right now they're a little under that. So now they were trying to bring these new guys in and ladies in, and they're going to cut that. They're cutting across the boards. So this migrant thing, that's why I called the title of this video, NYC Migrant Crisis Takeover Budget Cuts. Due to the migrant crisis situation, it's causing all sorts of havoc in New York City. Now this will bring up crime. Big Hawk want to talk about crime, so let me let him talk about the crime.
Crimes Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, it's been, matter of fact, Monday through Sunday, it's been nothing but crimes. And it's going back to the 70s and 80s. And I remember back in the 70s and 80s how bad it was, and it's going back there. It's going back to that time. It's not going to get any better. Not at all. Not at all. It's going to get any better. And this guy, I don't know what type of stuff that he's thinking about cutting the police department. Because if it's crime now, imagine when he cuts the police department. He's doing the same thing. This is a repeat of the same thing that Mayor Ed Koch did back in the days. Yes, this is what Mayor Ed Koch did back in the days, and he's doing the same thing that Mayor Ed Koch did. He's doing the same thing. Budget cuts. He's cutting the police department. Ed Koch did that. He cut the sanitation department. Ed Koch did that. He cut the schooling. Ed Koch did that. He cut the fire department a little. Ed Koch did that. Everything Ed Koch did, Adams is doing. The same thing. The same thing. And what's going to happen is it's going to be like Escape from New York. It's going to really get down and gritty and ugly at this point. It's going to happen. It's coming. It's coming. So people are going to have to be aware of their surroundings. People are going to have to start training more, get some type of self-defense, go take some type of classes to protect yourself. Because the city is going to be like, it's a time bomb waiting to go off. It's a time bomb waiting to go off. It's not looking good at all. Not at all. I wish we can get some New Yorkers out there that grew up in the 70s, 80s. They know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and also, man, what I was gonna tell you guys, we had a guy on here the other day. Big Hawk can vouch for that. We had a guy on here the other day, and he's Venezuelan. I mean, he told us the real, and it wasn't good news what he told us. He was saying that the Venezuelans that are coming here, not all of them, it's always good people among, everybody. But he was saying the part of Venezuela where these people were from, they're heavy in the crime and stuff. And he said these were the type of Venezuelans that were coming here. And he said he knew this firsthand because he's an American citizen now. He lives in Minnesota, JS. And he was telling us that he had to go to Mexico City to renew his Venezuelan visa. And then he said he went to Mexico City and he met a whole bunch of migrants there making their way to, to the United States. So, he mingled among them and talked with them. And he was talking with them. And he started asking them, where you from in Venezuela? What did you do in Venezuela? And he was like, yo, these guys ain't the good type of Venezuelan. So he was like, he said he'd give New York 2 years. He said he'd give New York 2 years and the crime is going to go through the roof because he said they're going to connect with other Latin gangs or whoever or start their own situation in New York. And with these cuts and everything, it's crazy, man. And, a lot of people is hard on Mayor Adams, but this is like bigger than him, man. I'm going to be honest with you. This is bigger than him. This is bigger than him. This is bigger than the governor. This is bigger than the governor of New York City. This is I keep telling everybody, this is a Washington, D.C. problem. This is a Washington, D.C. problem. Let me talk that Big Hawk talk here. What you think of that, Big Hawk? What I was talking about?
Yeah, I'm starting to think the same thing. I'm starting to think that something's going on in DC. Cause he's the mayor, yeah, but he's only the mayor. There's got to be somebody hiding this because why would they? You know that people here in America are going through problems. You know, people are homeless, sleeping in tents, sleeping in cars, sleeping in vans, alleyways, sleeping anywhere they can sleep. But you still, the other people come here and then you give them everything, and then the people that's here get less or get nothing. So, what's really the agenda for all these people coming here? Then you mostly got men. There's women, but have anybody noticed it's mostly men coming in? That's not really, ringing a bell for people. Like, why are all these guys coming here? This bigger than, like you said, you're right, man. This is bigger than Mayor Adams, man. This is something that had to be planned out for a long time. Something had to be planned out for a long time for these people to come here. This don't look good. People need to start training. People need to start getting your family ready. Get a bug out bag to be ready to start moving. Just in case. You can get.
Yeah, because this is definitely out of control. And I've been covering Denver. I've been covering Chicago too. Every now and then I do a Chicago video. And I just did one for Denver this morning. The video was going good, and then at the end something happened and the whole laptop went down. But I was talking for like 30, 40 minutes, so I got a lot of good information. Like in Denver now, they got between like 40 and 100 and something migrants coming a day right now to Denver, Colorado. That's who's coming to Denver, Colorado right now. Denver, Colorado is nowhere in the shape that New York is in. But they're spreading them all over, They're in Chicago, they're in Denver, they're in Boston, they're in other places, they're in New York, they're in a lot of different cities. And New York is just like the epicenter. New York has been hit the worst by this situation, like to the point that they're in billions, not millions, but billions, not millions, but $1 billion in debt. Yeah, and like I said, I'm covering for the mayor, and I'm not a New Yorker, so I can't. I'm in New York now. I'm living there now. This is my home now, but I've never got to vote in no election for mayor of New York City or anything yet. And this problem is, like I said, it's bigger than him. I mean, he doing his best to bandage it, but it's completely out of control. Because I understand why he's doing it. They're losing money everywhere, so they gotta do something because they're losing money everywhere. But I would tell Mayor Adams and all the other mayors that's going through this crisis and other states that is going through it. I think they should talk to them in the White House, man, and air out their grievances with the White House, because this is a American problem. Like I said, it's going to affect everybody in one way or the other. As far as crime, as far as definitely your taxes going up in different areas. New York alone, New York school district alone has 8,000 more students than they ever had before in the school district right now, because that's the migrant kids that are going to school in New York City. So they have 8,000 more students across the city of New York City. Then people keep asking us about the scooters. I will talk about the scooters real quick because people keep asking about the scooters. I said a couple weeks ago, we did a video with somebody. I had a translator with me, and he talked to them direct. And the guy said that he saved up his money from working under the table at a restaurant. He was getting $500 a week at a restaurant. He saved up his money, and that's how he got the scooters. He was saying that most people buy the scooters with their own money or they rent the scooters. And then obviously some people, families, were getting like some kind of check for $2,200. Everything me and Big Hawk say, you can fact check it on it. You can ask us to repeat it, and you can Google it and Google it as we go along if you don't believe what we're saying. But they were getting checks for like $2,200 migrant families. Some of them saved up that money and got their scooters too, because remember, they don't have to pay for shelter. They don't have to pay for food. They're not paying for their housing and shelter, but they're not paying a rent or a mortgage on where they stand. So if the U.S. gives you $2,000 or $3,000 each month, that's money clearing the free. Granted, you might be sending some back to mom, dukes, or family members back in your country, or maybe not. So that's how they're getting scooters and different things like that. People say, yo, they're dressing nice and fast move. Yeah, they are. The migrants don't be looking bummy, man. They be having like Air Force Ones, nice shirt, nice jacket. I mean, I know people are donating them clothes and stuff like that. I can vouch for that. Because one of my videos a couple of weeks back, it was a nonprofit organization, and they donated a whole bunch of clothes. And the clothes that they donated were very nice. And I'm like, these is like upscale, nice clothes. And I asked one of the guys, I said, man, this is some expensive clothes you're donating to these migrants. He said, man, I feel if I'm going to give clothes to somebody, I want it to be something that one of my family members will wear or I will wear myself. I'm not just going to give them any raggedy clothes or some, from what you call it, man, a thrift store or something like that, but give them something that they would, that they would want to wear, that he would want to wear himself. So, yeah, the migrants are getting taken care of real nice. And once again, hold on, I was just noticed something here. Somebody told me we got 77 people in the chat and only 11 likes. Make sure you guys hit the like button, and I'm going to let my boy Hawk talk to you right now.
This is what I want to know. And I just thought about this with the scooters. I just, when you was explaining to me about the scooters, I'm saying, wait a minute. These are migrants. They came over here. They working, and they got scooters, correct? Where are they getting the driver's license? There's no license to buy the scooters. You got to show them. So how are they getting sold scooters without no ID and license? I just thought about that. I said, wait a minute, man. they driving scooters, but they don't have no proper ID and license. So do you mean the officers are just letting them ride scooters with no license, no papers, no insurance? That don't seem weird to people.
And no
That's
tags.
crazy.
And no tags.
That's crazy. No, yeah. And no tags. They just have nothing driving a scooter. How does that work out? How do you, if I go get a scooter, and let's just say I don't get asked for a license. If I'm driving down the street and I bang into somebody, the first thing they're going to say, give me a license and your race registration and payments for the scooter. Like, where? I mean, what are they trying to pull here? Yeah, you're right about that. This is bigger than Adams, man. Because Adams ain't going to let us get away with it. He's going to let them get away with driving a scooter without. But I heard 20,000 of them went back. They was complaining about, oh, this is not the American dream that people talked about, and it's too cold. Well, you wanted to come here, and you found out. So they sent their 20,000 went back. But that scooter thing, Philly, man, that's weird, man. No license, but you're driving the scooter. You don't have no license, no type of papers, nothing. You just got it, but you're driving a scooter.
Crazy, yeah.
Wow, man. That's something to think of. That's something to think about. Yeah, that is. Wow. That is something to think about. And then where they getting the weed from? Where they getting the stuff from? That means they had somebody over here waiting for them. Because where you getting the stuff from? How do you know about that stuff? You people, now the wheels are turning. I'm like, wait a minute. They just got here. How they know about Earth? Where they getting it from? Somebody that they knew here. That's what happened. Or somebody probably said, oh, you want to? He probably went up to some, oh, I need some. Okay, you can go get it over here. Boy, this whole thing is like the mystery, it's like a puzzle being put back into place. But that scooter part, nah, that's weird, man. You don't even have your papers. How did you just all of a sudden come in and go to motor vehicles with no ID or nothing? You just got your, oh man, that's something to think about. Yeah, that is weird, man. You got to go to motor vehicles to get stuff registered. You got to get your license. You got to get your registration. Get the paper for the thing. You got to get it. That's weird, man. And then they cutting the police department. That's the worst thing that could ever happen right now. You're cutting the police department. We usually have 35,500 police in New York City. We don't even have that no more. We don't. And they a lot of them, I did a video earlier, a lot of them are retiring. There was a class at 800 that was supposed to go in, and I think that stopped now. And you got 800 officers right now that's putting their retirement in.
Yeah, everything is on freeze,
I'm
man.
telling you.
It's on freeze. They're not taking, they got supposed to have 5 more academies coming in. I don't know how much is in each academy.
Yes.
But it's on a freeze now.
Right. This is what happened when Ed Koch was here. The same exactly. It's like a recording of a tape. It's history repeating itself. Horrible. Because now they say they're going to cut the sanitation. I remember they did that when Ed Koch was office. The damn garbage was to the roof. It was bad. It was so bad. You had people setting garbages on fire right there in the middle of the street in New York City. That's how crazy it was, because the garbage was piling up to the rim. It's crazy, man. And now they gone to Denver, Colorado. I didn't think they were going to hit Denver. They got to Denver. Wow. That's crazy, man. This whole thing, man, it's like a nightmare, man. And then I'm seeing women out there pregnant. Some of the migrant women are pregnant. and got a kid in the hand. I'm like, okay, where you gonna sleep at? In a shelter? You're pregnant with a kid in your hand? It's horrible, man. This whole thing is it's this whole thing was a setup, man. They set this whole thing up. I believe they truly set this whole thing up. Somebody set it up. Because
Hold
New
on one
York is
second. I
going
got
to
smiles
fall.
coming on.
Okay.
Hold on. There's a special guest P Man with him. Let me stop. What's going on, Stallion?
Hey, how you doing? I gotta chime in on this one.
Yeah. New York is going down the drain faster than I don't know what. I don't know what I can
Yeah.
compare to.
Let me give you my spin on it, what I think.
What you think?
Well, obviously, when they came across the border, the Texas governor was sending buses everywhere and anywhere. I think that obviously New York wasn't prepared for it, number one. But here's what I think the inside story is. I'm kind of putting two and two together. Is when the mayor started complaining to the feds for more money and more support. Obviously their same party affiliation. I think that they already had dirt on him to start with, dealing with the issues coming out with the FBI. And I think they were just basically saying, okay, you're not working with us, and whatever the agenda is that they have, you're going against the grain. So we're going to go ahead and pull this thing out we already had on you anyways. And I think that's where they all of a sudden, it wasn't too long after that, the stuff started coming out about the campaign stuff and the 25-year-old girl, which I already have my opinion on that. Anybody 25 years old running a campaign, are you serious? I mean, what does a 25-year-old girl know? I mean, there's more behind that than that, but that's a different topic. Mm-hmm. But I think what it is that they knew about that already, that being, the Biden administration, mm-hmm. And when he started complaining, I think that's just like, okay, we're going to have pull the plug on him, and this is what's going to happen. He's going to end up he's at the very least, he's going to be out of office if he isn't going to be, arrested. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So because that came out of nowhere. Because now he went to go like you said, he went to go ask the feds for more money, and then now they pulling all this up. They pulling all this dirt on. They took his cell phone. They took his laptop. They took everything. So he's definitely being investigated for something.
Right. If they knew about that already, what I'm saying is that, for them to have any kind of evidence to come at him like that, they already had that sitting in the background. It was a sleeper. It was like, okay, we're going to use this. If he, when he started complaining, because he was kind of talking bad about the federal government, and the administration. Uh-huh. And I think that's when that happened. It got to the point where it's okay. Well, we got something for you. We're gonna do something about it, and this is where all the stuff started coming down. I think a lot of these mayors, not just in New York, I think a lot of them have a lot of dirt that the feds have on them, mm-hmm. And if they don't play ball, if they're the same party or maybe the opposite party, stuff can go bad.
Wow. Yeah, because I was like, golly, yeah, they pulled this up out of nowhere. Hold on, let me let Big Hawk, he's a New York native. Let me let.
I can't hear you. Okay. He's right about that. I think because that kind of did come out of nowhere about him being investigated. Yeah, he might be right. He's probably on to something. Because he probably didn't play what they wanted them to play. They'll say, okay, let's just drag the dirt on him right now. See if you think we playing, let's drag the dirt on him. Yeah, he's probably right about that. Because that did come out, like you said, it came out of left field. Came out of nowhere. Let me tell you something. Whatever's going on, the crap is going to hit the fan. The crap is going to hit the fan, and New York City is going to go into a bad riot. I see that's what's going to happen. I see people in the streets of New York City snapping out. They're going to get tired of what's going on, and that's what's going to happen. Everybody's just going to lose it. People losing their jobs. Now you got cutbacks. People living paycheck to paycheck. People are getting frustrated. It's like a time bomb waiting to explode. It's like a time bomb waiting to go off. You can get it.
Okay, yeah, it's a lot of problems in New York right now, man. With the like button. Yeah, the other day when I was recording, I noticed that migrants are starting to sleep on the street now. They ain't got nowhere to go in New York. They were on the streets sleeping in front of the Roosevelt. It was two migrants sleeping in front of the Roosevelt Hotel. That's the intake center. If anybody doesn't know, for New York, any migrant that comes to New York has to go. They have to go through that intake center. They have to go through that intake center. And there was some migrants sleeping there, man. It's a bad situation right now for New York, man. I'm kind of think what else we can talk about as far as this subject. We talked about the scooters. We talk about the corruption they talking about now with the mayor and everything. The cuts are the worst thing because that's going to come back to haunt New York later. That's going to come back and haunt New York in a bad way later. You need law enforcement. You can never cut law enforcement. It's like the military. The military and law enforcement, they all law enforcement together, whatever. You can never cut them. And like you said, they were saying that the police force usually sits around like 30,000, and now they're under 30,000. And they, like I said before, somebody just came to the live. They just got 5 more classes that they stopped right now in their tracks of police. And I don't know how many cadets or in training or police officers in training for each of these classes, but I would figure like 500, 800, 1,000, 600, 400. It has to be a nice number because this is New York City. So we might be lowballing the number. It could be a couple thousand in each class. We could be lowballing for all I know. So the struggle is real, man. The struggle is real with New York City right now. What you
Hey,
got to say?
hey, Philly, I think, you said something on one of your lives. I think have a lot of truth behind it. Right now, to get people to work for the wages that are out there, a lot of people won't do it.
Yeah, they
And
won't. They
I
can't.
think, and then what's going on is I'm finding out as watching YouTube and talking to others that they're issuing out these temporary work permits. You notice that that businesses are the ones not complaining about this whole thing. I don't hear any businesses saying, "Oh no, this is bad."
No,
Get
it's
them out
good
of
for
here.
them.
They want them to work because they'll take those jobs making 12, 13, 14, $15 an hour. In a major city, that's nothing. That's you can probably live in a tent on that. So from that end of it, for a business community, they love it. I mean, they can absorb all that young labor coming in there doing all the work that the rest of us won't do.
No, you're 100% right about that. Even the hotel and tourism industry in New York, they saved all the hotels in Queens. They can say whatever they want to say to Queens, New York. They done saved a whole bunch of hotels in Queens that would have went under. Manhattan is kind of strong because Manhattan is, that's the best place to be in New York City. Everything runs out of Manhattan, and they always have tourism and everything. But it was a lot of hotels sitting dormant in Queens, New York, right across the water in the Astoria, Queens area, Long Island, Queens area, that area right there. And they all use them for migrant shelters now. And them hotels are full to capacity. I even talk to some people at the hotels. Let's just say some of these migrants are at like nice hotels, like on the level of a Marriott, a Hilton, a Sheraton. Like they're in some nice hotels. And I had the pleasure to talk to somebody at the front desk. And this is one of my videos. He didn't want to be on camera, but he explained to me and he explained to everybody that was listening that day, or whoever listens to that video, they're getting like 60% more. So they're getting whatever the top rate is for that room during that time period. Obviously we going into Thanksgiving and Christmas. People coming into town to visit family members. They're going to stay at hotels. So this is crazy. So they'll get top dollar, whatever, $500 a night, $700 a night, whatever the hotel, their room numbers, that room prices is, plus 60% more on top of that for housing a migrant, because you figure you have a migrant there for a month, 2 months. They don't have credit cards. They don't work. They don't have debit cards. So what happens if they rip your room apart and mess up everything in your room? Somebody got to fix the damages. So that's why they pay the extra 60% more. But yeah, Stallion, I agree with what you said, and I did say that. Yeah, you're not gonna get an average New Yorker to work for 15, 16 bucks an hour. They can't survive off of that. But the migrants will do it because, not to say anything bad about them, they just came to the country. They're desperate. All they want to do is work. So they'll take an opportunity, any chance that they can get to work, they'll work. You got migrants going in the trash cans and the dumpsters, getting plastic bottles and cans to take to one of the recycling bins just to get 10 bucks, 7 bucks, 6 bucks, whatever, how much they can get, because they're so desperate to make money. They're so backed up with the paperwork. These people don't even know when they will work legitly. Some of them are working under the table. Like a Venezuelan guy told me he worked under the table. At one time, he was getting $500 a week. And I promise you, that probably was a big time hotel that the other employees probably getting like $2,000 a week. He was getting $500 cash under the table, he said. He did it for a couple months and then he quit. That's how he got his scooter. So you figure if they was paying him $500, like I said, under the table, imagine how much they would have to pay a New Yorker for 1 week of work at that same place. If they could do that comfortably, $500 a day. I mean, not a day, but a week. Think about how much they would have to pay a regular American citizen for that job. 1,500, 2,000 a week probably. It's probably one of them upscale, nice restaurant. Once again, guys, can we give the video a like? Can we hit the like button? Can we hit the like button? We got 169 people, 173 people watching now. Make sure we hit the like button and share this video. Put it everywhere. We talking about what's going on in New York City. Chicago, that's another city. Chicago is fighting back. Chicago is not having it, even though they still have migrants coming there and everything like that. But Chicago is fighting back because they're trying to put a lot of the shelters, or they're trying to have it in the south side of Chicago, and the people in the south side of Chicago is not having it. They were promised a whole bunch of things, and now the migrants come and then money appears out of nowhere. But just like Stallion said earlier, man, businesses are not complaining because this helps them. Hotel industry, any type of restaurant, anything. Now they can hire people under the table. Who gonna check on them? The mayor cutting. The New York mayor is cutting all city departments. So you figure if you got an inspector, he can do the bare minimum. A city inspector now, because he only can do his 40 hours or whatever a week. They're not gonna let him get overtime and all that.
Yeah, think about this. Just think about this too. Let me put another spin on it.
Yeah.
All these businesses, like even in the Midwest, where they have these meat packing houses, and there's a whole bunch of jobs out there that most of us aren't going to do, but they will. Now, when it comes down to these big companies, like I'll just use Midwest, like Tyson Foods. Okay, they have a lot of meat packing plants and all that, and they hire a lot of, they're all low wages. Now, who do you think, when it comes to campaign contributions and they're going to support coming up in the next year's election, who do you think they're going to be supporting? If they're issuing out all these temporary visa work permits and the companies are benefiting by it, who do you think they're going to support financially? I mean, if they vote for the other party and the other party's anti-immigration, that only hurts them and their stockholders.
That's
so
true.
There's another dimension to this, besides what we talked about, and that might be the end game.
Yeah, you might be 100% right about that. And then another thing I was going to ask you, Stallion, too, man. Everybody keeps talking about they're going to let them vote in the next year election. They don't have paperwork. They can't vote I've never seen somebody come from another country. And I got a lot of family members coming from other countries. It takes a while before you become a citizen. You can't even vote as a green card holder in the United States. You have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. Am I correct?
Yeah, because my girl, aka wife number one, she was, when I first met her, she had a green card.
Yeah.
She had to wait when she was eligible to vote. Yeah, that's when she was. Yeah, when she was sworn in as a U.S. citizen, that's when she was able to vote.
Yeah, so I don't know why they keep bringing this propaganda on YouTube and that they're going to be able to vote and sway the election. Now they can help them 4 or 5 years down the road if they can hurry up and get their citizenship. But most people slack about it, and it takes some years and years to get their citizenship. Only if you going like in the U.S. military or something like that, they can probably help you, get your paperwork pretty quickly. Because I do know a lot of people that said they went in the U.S. military so they can become a citizen real quick. Or if they marry a U.S. citizen, will help them get their paperwork. But after that, it takes a while. It's not a 1-2 process.
Right, but even if it takes a while or not, I mean, I guess let's go back to the beginning. If the federal government has the ability without going through Congress to issue out work permits, that lets them stay in the game, right? The individuals. Now, it's going to take them a minute to get their citizenship, providing everything goes through as planned.
Okay.
But in the meantime, the business community is benefiting by this tenfold. I mean, how many companies have complained about they can't find workers for these low wage jobs? And like I said, we'll just use Tyson Foods. That's a big food processing manufacturer. If they're able to get unlimited cheap labor coming in, that helps their bottom line. It helps their stockholders. Again, who's going to help them? Who they're going to support next year? Where's those campaign dollars? If I'm the president of Tyson or executives, I'd want to vote for the party that's making sure that my profits are up. The other party's not going to allow that. They don't want them in there. So that hurts me. And then I have to turn around and pay higher wages to get citizens or people who got work permits or U.S. citizens to do that work, and it's just going to raise the wages higher and to take away from my profits. So that's a short game. The long game is once these guys are in the system, let's say Biden gets back in office, they can these guys are still here. However method they get, they could be U.S. citizens, 4 or 5 years from now.
That's
and
true.
Which way they're going to vote? Who gave the opportunity to start with?
They're going to vote with his party because they're going to feel loyalty because they didn't have a plan, they didn't have a life, and now they made it.
Right.
They're going to be loyal to him.
Right. If you think in a conservative mindset, if you were given the opportunity of to be here in the States, however you want to cut it, which will, that's anybody's common sense. What would you do? Who would you support? At least in the short run.
Yeah, that's it. So they playing a long game. Unity 7, what's going on with you? She said, I heard most of them are trying to work or not trying to work. That workers are lazy is the word. We don't know yet, but I do know we talked to a guy from Venezuela on here, me and Big Hawk. He's been living in the country for 20 years. He's Venezuelan. And he said that the ones that they were letting come here, the Venezuelans, they didn't work back home like that. And he said these ones are the ones more into crime and different type of things like that. So he told us on the live like a couple of days ago that watch how New York's crime shoots up within the next 2 years. I mean, it is already going to go in that path, as you can see with the police, with the cuts and all that. And they stopping their police academies and stuff like that. It's already going in that situation.
Well, there's plenty of jobs here in Columbus, Ohio. I don't care if it's a public service or private sector. Cost of living is low compared to most places in the country. I mean, if I was an immigrant, I would be coming here personally, knowing what I know.
Say it again. Say it again. What you just said.
Hey, if I was an immigrant and I know what I know, I have a background in business. I used to work for the government, so
yeah, that's true. I know.
As an auditor,
he was a perfect person to come in and talk. That's why I let you. I was like, yeah, he knows because he works for the U.S. government for years.
When you look at these cities, here's a problem I've always saw here. When immigrants come, they always want to go to the East Coast where it's cramped, narrow streets,
cold,
concrete jungle, the whole nine. Okay, I don't care if it's New York, Philadelphia, D.C., whatever. Everything is cramped and overpriced. Down south, Miami. I mean, and then you have the West Coast. You have L.A. and San Francisco, which is just as expensive. It's like they leave the Midwest in these areas open, like they don't exist. Yeah. When here, at least in my city, we got tons of jobs, public service jobs. There's tons of them. I mean, this is a capital for the state of Ohio. We got tons of state jobs, but forget about all that. there's tons of private sector jobs here. They're putting an Intel plant that made national news in the next county. I mean, it's a huge, huge billions and billions of dollars of investment. Microsoft just bought another hunk of land in a neighboring county to do something with. They already have one facility already here, but the point is that this is a growing area, and the cost of living is low versus your wages. $15 an hour goes a lot longer. It goes longer here than it does in New York City.
For sure.
Not saying 15 is anything to start with. I'm just saying that you can get an apartment here in a decent area. You can get a 1-bedroom in a suburb area, not in the city, not in the inner city or anything, for about $1,000. And this is a nice place, maybe like 600 square feet, 1-bedroom, a newer apartment. Where are you going to get that in New York City or LA or Miami or any of these other places? But the wages here are just as high, for a lot of the same jobs as they are in these other areas. So, from that standpoint, if I'm coming across the border, I'm heading to the Midwest. Yeah, right here. This is Indianapolis. I'd say Columbus and Indianapolis are really the two places. If I was coming in to get a start in life, it would be these two cities. And I'd say Columbus is even better because there's even more opportunity here. I've been here since 1987. Every single year that I've been here, this city has grown. When we went through the housing crisis back in 2008, this area wasn't impacted that much. Yeah, there was a little bit, but it wasn't like other cities and other places, because it's always been a growing area because there's so much different industry here. So I mean, and the warehouse jobs are a dime a dozen. UPS has had a new contract. We got 2 big hubs here. They're starting them out at $21 an hour with full benefits. They're having a hard time getting people in there to go do that work.
That's crazy. A lot of Haitians go there to the Midwest now, especially Indianapolis. I know I've talked to a lot of Haitians. They're in Indianapolis right now.
Nope. We got a whole bunch of them in Columbus, about 3 miles away from where I live. I showed you. I think I sent that to you.
You sent it to me.
Clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna actually work on with. There's another YouTuber I might be working with here, and he's here in Columbus now. So I won't get into that, but I might be assisting. This is real close to my house. Literally, this is like 3 miles away from where those apartments are at. And I didn't know about that, but yeah, they're coming. Yeah. I mean, this is a welcome. This city is not like other cities. It's more of a welcoming place. It isn't overrun. Yeah, we have a lot of immigrants here, but it's not. There's enough for everybody to eat. Everybody's got food in their bellies. Everybody's got a roof over their head. We don't have tents sitting around everywhere. People sleeping on sidewalks and meth heads walking, or people on drugs like zombies. We don't have that here. So it's a little bit of a different vibe here in this city.
Okay. Jerry said there is Honda plant, Columbus, and most of the jobs go to Asian immigrants. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's up in the next county, up in Union County, which is northwest of Columbus. No, I have to say Honda's Japanese. Some of their management and stuff are, but I know a lot of people that are born, raised non-Asians that work up there. But the only thing is about Honda, they're not unionized. So, they, obviously, they don't have the protections, that other, like the big three do. But, like I said, Honda's not even really a big player here anymore. I mean, they used to be a long time ago, as far as getting in to do a job. But we got so many different types of industries here now. In Columbus, I was told this when I first came here, that 80% of the U.S. population is located within 500 miles of Columbus. And because of that, that's why you have all these big major warehouse hubs here, because it's a central place to ship stuff from and store.
Wow.
You got Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, you got Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, yeah, there's a lot of places within 500-mile radius. And it's a flat area. Eastern Ohio, you start getting to those mountains, towards, through, Pennsylvania, and they come over on the other side over on the East Coast. But, when you get into Central Ohio, it's a little bit flatter. It's not flat like it is when you get further into the Midwest, but it's flat enough to where you can, you can put a lot of these warehouses along the Beltway going around the city.
Okay, Jones said Akron, Ohio is a welcome city with the best social services in the country. So many food banks, and Amazon is always hiring.
Yeah, I know about Akron. I mean, I look, I'm from Eastern Ohio, so Akron is, I call it a has-been city.
Oh,
That
wow.
was the that was the tire capital of the world at one point, right?
Yeah.
You know that you have Hoover vacuum cleaners. We're up here in Canton, which is right south of that. You had all the big three: Goodyear, Goodrich. All the big tires. It was something at one time, but all those type of jobs are pretty much gone. That's part of that Rust Belt. Akron, Cleveland, Detroit, Buffalo. Those are all Rust Belt type areas, and they never
Okay.
really covered Pittsburgh. Could throw Pittsburgh in there too. That those are like old money. Whoever's there left. But yeah, but if you come to Central Ohio, it's not like that. It's just a different vibe here. It's just it's modern, it's technical. You got Nationwide Insurance is a big employer here. Chase Bank has got a huge facility here.
So you trying to get the migrants to come to Ohio? That's what you're trying to
Hey,
do?
if they want to come. I mean, hey, this is the second concentration of Somalians in the country. So
Okay.
there I don't see I see all the immigrants coming here. Most of them are doing good. You
Yeah,
know, I
that's
mean,
true.
it's not really impacting the rest of us. We're all still eating. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. There's a lot of food to eat off the plate here, but for whatever reason, people don't. And I notice with the some of the like my girls' country, come over. They always go into Maryland. Maryland's overpriced. You're gonna go out Silver Spring or somewhere else.
Yeah, that's
Pay
expensive.
$1 a month for an apartment and work
He said it's
whatever.
an
I
apartment.
mean, to me it doesn't make any sense. You'd want to come to an area where you have an opportunity and your wages versus your cost of living are going to be more in line. And like I said, I look at this place here, where I'm at, and I've been here for almost 40 years, and I've seen growth. I've seen people come here with nothing, and now they're making six digits, 150,000, 200,000, where they had nothing here 10 years ago.
Wow.
So I mean, it's here.
Hold on, let me put Big Hawk in there. Let's see what Big Hawk has. Hold on. Big Hawk, what you got?
He says, send him out there. I know y'all was talking about Stein. He was talking about why they come into these cities. I think why they come into like New York and all these cities because it's like a hustle and bustle, and you can get like little side hustle jobs out here because that's how New York and these other cities are. And the only bad thing they're gonna find out is that the rent is not cheap here. That's the only thing they're gonna find out. Right now, the rent it keeps going up and up and up. So they're gonna have to do like some of the Mexicanos do. They're gonna have to be crammed into one house, one apartment, because the rent here right now is on the rise. It's not cheap. It's not cheap to live in New York City no more. I remember a studio back in the days was like $400 a month. Now a studio in the hood, it's like about $1,250, $1,300 for a studio in the hood. In the hood. But I remember back in the day, matter of fact, even you had find some studios that was like $300 a month, $200 a month. Not now. So to come here, like he said, everybody coming here, they're gonna find out real hard that even what they're making, they're gonna have to have a whole bunch of people living in one spot in order to take care of the rent, gas and electric. They might probably gonna want to have internet. They gotta eat. Then they gotta have their clothes, their necessity. It's gonna be a bunch. It's gonna be a lot of hard work. They're gonna have to work 7 days a week, around the clock, because rent is expensive right now. Yeah, because it's a sanctuary city. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. But they're gonna find out you can get that sanctuary city. You're gonna find it's an expensive city. You're gonna drive you up the wall. It's not cheap to live here, man. It's not cheap. and the rent keeps flying high and up and up. It's not cheap, not at all. Then they got to, like you said, they got to deal with the cold. They're from a climate area where it's tropical. You have to deal with where weather's dropping below zero, snow's 2 and 3 feet. So they can come here, but they got a whole lot of stuff they're gonna have to deal with coming to this place.
What's the sanctuary city
in New York City?
What's the sanctuary city in the Midwest? In the Midwest, I mean, I know Chicago. Besides Chicago, what else? Anyone?
I don't think there is none. To be honest with you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't think there. I think Chicago. I know Detroit isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I know Cleveland. I don't think any cities here in Ohio are. But what's a sanctuary city? We're just saying that the immigration's not going to come after you, or the police are not cooperating. There could be unwritten rules. Columbus is no different. Columbus is. You got a Democratic president that's in office, which controls immigration, right? You got in this city here has been Democrat for probably maybe 20 years. Okay. Yeah, about 20 years ago, everything shifted over from Republicans to Democrats here in this city. Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna. Immigration is not floating around here in Central Ohio. I mean, yeah, they got a small little office here, but they don't have people running around, picking people up in those big SUVs and all that. I've never seen any here.
Okay.
And their resources are stretched too. So they're not. Those resources aren't to hunt down people within the interior of the country. I just seen a report up on the northern border, was it that stretch with Upper New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire. They've been pulling border security from the Canadian border, send them down to the southern border because of the staffing levels. Now, do you think they have the resources to go hunt people down here in Columbus, Ohio, to process them and send them back?
No. No way, no how.
Yeah, they can't even maintain the borders coming in. So once they're in the interior, unless these guys are doing criminal activity, that's the only thing I see. It's going to, put them at the front of the line. Other than that, it is what it is. And here in Columbus, at least with those Haitian immigrants that came in, they set up there's a rec center within walking distance of that apartment complex. They had set up a thing last Thursday and Friday where they could come in, they could get clothes. They had doctors on site. They were doing vital signs. They had doctors. They had a food bank, the big food bank here, where it can direct you to the pantries and get food. I mean, they were handing out cell phones and iPads. I mean, it was a welcome wagon here.
Welcome wagon, yeah.
I mean, that's what it was here for the most part. So there isn't like I said, this city has a lot of immigrants to start with here. They've been flowing in here for 25 years. So it's not like, it's the dynamics have changed here in Central Ohio, from where it was, 25 years ago. But so with that said, you have a lot of the city council here is diverse now. It's not like it used to be. It's just a different mindset here, and they're not, it's not that, they see things from a different lens. We don't see any real crime here with immigrants either. I mean, we have some of the only crime we've seen recently is some of the Somalians that came here back in the 90s, and some of their kids, when they came in, the ones that were born here, some of them were doing some stuff here now. But these are the ones that were born here, here in Columbus. But other than that, just don't see it. It's just not like it is in other cities.
Well, I think Big Hawk want to say something. Let's see what you got to say, Big Hawk. Big Hawk.
Something about that the immigrants are going to be, the migrants are going to be loyal to Biden, right? You know what? I think that's one of the plans. I think Biden did this for a reason. I think he let a certain amount of migrants to get in here so he can have enough votes to get back in that chair, man. See, that was I personally. Now the wheels are starting to turn. I think that's what he did because he got to have a certain amount of. They go, well, he let us come in here. Let's vote for him. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why he did that. Because why would you flood a place with all these people to have nowhere to put them? And you knew it that you didn't have no place to put these people. You knew it. You knew it. All of the lots that's in New York and Detroit, Chicago, all these empty buildings, you could have put people that was born and raised here, veterans, and put them there. But you left it alone and just put it down. You just flooded the place. I think he did this for a reason, man. I truly think he did this for a reason. And he made the biggest mistake because these people, half of them, are going to turn on us. Are going to turn on us. Straight up. You can get it.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. But
Yeah,
I was saying before.
yeah. The business community, the ones, if we're looking at it from a cynical standpoint, with the Biden administration, these guys that are coming in right now don't have the ability to vote right now, and they won't next year. However, the business community that benefits by all this, by issuing out those work permits, they're the big winners out of this whole thing. And the stockholders, the people that have stocks, the people that invested in these companies, they're the winners. The Amazons of the world, because they're hiring here. The Tyson Foods. You could just think of all these big companies that have, their hired low-wage workers, restaurants, Wendy's International, McDonald's, all these different places are benefiting by this. Again, if I'm a president of a big Fortune 500 company and I have all these new people I can hire in at the wage I want to pay them without being pressured to increase wages because of the shortage of labor, who do you think it's in my best interest of my stockholders to support the current administration? I would be an idiot to support the opposite party because it's not in my best financial interest or the stockholders of the company. That's the short game. The long game is these guys stay here, they get their citizenship, and then they're going to be loyal on the back end because they got the assistance on the front end 5 years earlier, and now they're citizens, and a lot of them are going to vote for, will be Biden. He'll be out of office, even after a second term. It'll be the Democratic Party. I mean, that's just to me, I'm just connecting the dots at this point.
Yeah, that sounds like what's going to happen. I'll agree with you on that. That sounds like what's going to happen. 100%. I believe that. That's what. Hold on, let me put Big Hawk back in there. Me and Big Hawk can't talk at the same time. Something with his mic.
I like what the brother said. Wait till their gangs form. They're going to get with these gangs out here, man. That's how a lot of them going to survive. They're going to get with these gangs out here. When the person put that up there, yep, wait till their gang form. Yeah, you're right. The person's right. They're going to get with a lot of these Latin gangs out here. They even going to get with some of the black gangs out here. Yep. That's going to be the end all, man. That's where the chaos going to stop. They're going to get with these gangs. There's going to be low in police department. Yeah, New York is going to be a mess. A one big hot mess. It's going to be bloodshed from city to from what they call from borough to borough. Oh yeah. Person's right about that.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what the guy said the other day. He was talking about that.
Yeah.
The swelling guy was talking about that. Sorry about that, guys. Me and Big Hawk can't be on at the same time. It's something with the mic. I don't know what is going on. Because like when Stalin get on, it's no problem. They need work. They need work. And the longer these people wait, they're gonna do crime, they're gonna do stupid stuff because they're desperate. Some people had to pay for family members and friends to get them up here. So they already owe people back home. So they feeling the pressure. So they're gonna do whatever it takes. But on the flip side of that, the migrants, I don't know why people keep saying in the comment section that they're lazy and they don't want to work. Most of them want to work. Most of them want to work. And the guy was talking about Venezuela because he's Venezuelan. He was talking about the Venezuelans that are coming up here. But you got Africans, you got Chinese, You got people coming from like over 160 countries. You got people from El Salvador, Nicaragua, Peru, Colombia, a whole bunch of different countries, Brazil, wherever they're coming from, other places, all through the African countries. They're coming to the Caribbean, Haiti, and some other islands as well. So these people come here to work, man. They want a better life. So they're gonna do whatever it takes. But yeah, definitely the crime will go up.
Hey, there's another benefit too, Philly.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
What's the other
You're
benefit?
you're gonna see less passport bros traveling.
That was an inside joke right there. No, because I'm in New York, man. I'm telling you, man. You see a lot of beautiful Venezuelans and people at the migrant place. You see them for real. You see them. I'm not lying. Oh my God, that was funny. That was funny.
They'll be surprised if them guys snap them up and put a ring on their finger.
Yeah, now they ain't got to take the trip and fly and go to
No
another
hotels, no Airbnbs. They got it right here.
Yep. And what's the name is getting hot anyway. Colombia is getting hot right now anyway. They killing people left, right. They don't have problems killing Americans now. So Colombia, I think everybody should just ban not go to Colombia right now. They killing Americans like it ain't nobody's business.
Yeah. I'll stick to DR and Ghana.
At least you know you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Colombia's got out of hand, man. Colombia's got completely out of hand.
Well, the only thing about Colombia is, guys get infatuated going there, and I understand there's beautiful women there. I get it, but I don't want to have to look over if I'm spending money to go out of the country to do whatever. I don't want to have to I don't want to spend money to look over my shoulder.
No, that's crazy.
I mean that to me that makes no sense.
Yeah,
you got all these other countries you can go to. You got the DR, you got Thailand, you got other areas in the Caribbean they could go to, and have the same benefit. Nice beaches, nice places to see, coconuts, women, everything. Everything is going to be just as the same it is in Colombia, but the other thing is, unless the Colombian government gets a wrap around it, they're really going to be the losers in the long run because those are all those tourist dollars coming in.
Tourism going because they already had, when they had the big drug dealer guy, I'm gonna mention his name, in the 80s and the 90s, in the 70s, the 80s and the 90s, he had Colombia, in a chokehold, and now he ain't there no more. And now they got this window of success. And now they about to blow this because they killing American tourists.
Right. The government's going to be the loser at the end. And the thing is, I've talked to different people that are down there, and there's a lot of there's a lot of lack of police enforcement. At least dealing with the tourists coming in, and that's a no winner there. I mean, they're screwing themselves. And when the dollars go, the people that have those hotels and resorts, that money goes. It's just going to be more people out of work down there for something they probably could have prevented, or at least they not prevented, but at least they could have cut down on the frequency of all the robberies and killings.
Not to go off subject, right? I'm reading this right here, right? Then they will complain that the body wasn't okay. Not to go off subject about this, but this goes out to the people, that the women that put this up here and other women. You have women in America that feel men are not up to their standards, men are no good, men are this and men are that. So the passport brothers became big. They went out there. Some found wives, some didn't. Some went out there just to have fun, right? But what I'm trying to understand, and I've been trying to understand this for a long time, if these women from America, right, don't care about us and don't like us, why should they worry about brothers and men, period, going to other countries? And they put stuff up here like this. You understand me, man? That's kind of weird. I've been trying to understand this for the longest. It's weird that the American women have a problem with it. They don't want us because we're not making 6 figures, 6 inches. You got to be this, you got to be that. You got to be everything but a human being that makes money, works hard, take care of himself, and take care of his family. That's what you should be. But they want you to, they're watching too much TV. They're watching all of these basketball wives, and everybody's rich. They want rich, and they want a rich man. That's cool. But then brothers say, okay, I'm going to take my talent, and I'm going to go to another country, and I'm going to be, respected and loved by somebody because they love me. So why do these American women have a problem with that? I'm trying to understand this. And, I'm trying to. If you don't like us, why you have a problem? I don't understand that, man. That's weird. That's weird, man. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
You're gonna have to ask them. You're gonna have to ask them. But the U.S. is very demanding. You know what I mean? You gotta have money. People marry now just because it's a financial benefit. To be honest with you. It's tough in the US. It's tough in the US. And then you know the saying, if they can't have you, they don't want nobody else to have you. So they never saw years ago, they never saw that option that people could go other places to find love, money, whatever they're looking for. And see, the US, we always make everything about the US, like this is the only place, this is the safest place, this, that. So it keeps a lot of people that they always want to be here. But then people figure out they can go other places for other things if they can't get what they want in their own country. So that's how. But for us to ask your question, you just got to ask. You would have to ask the female. But I mean, it looked like if they can't have you, they don't want nobody else to have you. And like I said, that's all I can tell you on that. A female would have to defend this, man. Let me see what they're saying. Oh man, what did Jerry say? Jerry said, I can't lie, I have lived overseas since 2018. In my opinion, these women bring nothing to the table. Most live at home with their family. In America, they are better women. Yeah, what he said in America, they're better women. That's what Jerry said. He said he lived overseas since 2018. That's a while. 2018, 2019, 21, 22. 20, he's been over 5 years. 5 years overseas. What country you in, Jerry? Let me see. Let me see what they said about Biden. They going after Biden. Francine said Biden needed not to get another 4 years. That is a very last thing America needs. God be with the United States. It will be okay. I hear you, man. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. This next election is going to be very, very, very interesting. I'll tell you that much. Everybody will be watching that one. We say 89% African channel. Okay. They make it hard for good women. Let me see what else. I'm gonna probably end up in the live anyway, man. We've been on for like an hour. I gotta do some stuff with the little guys, other stuff. So I probably gotta end it anyway. Let me see what this is. 99335 said, men just have to be men. We don't like wimpy men. My grandfather's generation was the greatest generation of World War II. Oh, Big Hawk getting upset. All right, Big Hawk, tell them.
First of all, you do have good men out here. What are they talking about? You do have good men out here, but because we're not making 6 figures and above, we're not 6 feet tall, we're not this, we're not that, you have good men. But the good men you pass up for Pookie, Ray, Man, John, and everybody else. The good men that went to school to either get their college degree or go get a blue-collar job, those are the men you pass by. What are you talking about? We have good men out here. Y'all just have shades on your eyes, and you're walking past the good men. You get
Studio, that's my mom. That's my mom in the back. That's my mom. Picture of my mom in the back. She passed away like 25 years ago. 23, 20. I got to do the math on it. But that's her in the background. Yeah, that's my mom in the background. Amar said, no lies told. Uh-oh. Miss Price says, stay on topic. Immigration. Immigrants. But we're about to end the live anyway. That's why we're just talking about a little bit of anything. We're about to end the live anyway. I guess thank you guys for coming through on the live with me. The Italian Stallion and Big Hawk Yonkers native. RIP to DMX. Shout out to DJ Superior, the Locks, Mary J. Blige, and everybody that's out of that Yonkers circle. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and happiness. He said, oh, hold on. We got to do this, Stallion. Hold on. We got something at the end. Jones said, did you know there is a Haitian crisis in Columbus, Ohio? Yes, I was informed about it. Yes, I'm informed about it. I might do a video tomorrow morning and we talk about the Haitian crisis in Columbus, Ohio. So that's it for now, guys. You guys have a blessed night, man. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.
All right, Philly.
All right, then.